When you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something. Yeah, well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something.
That's right. Let's go. Yeah, when you're feeling down and you're out, like you got nothing but doubt, you're alone in the crowd, just trying to figure it out. All of this cloud and this money got you feeling left out. Listen up to me now, every word that's out of my mouth. Wake up, it's me. You're gonna follow your dreams, or are you just gonna be another cog in the scene? You feel the hope in this beat, yeah, the hope that you need to proceed and be exactly what you want it to be. I feel right and I'm proud, hype and I'm loud. I'ma shout all about how I feel in the now. Ain't nobody ever gonna try to change me till I'm dead, pushing up daisies. I'm alone in the crowd, I won't feel down. I got hope right now, and I know I'll be found. I don't really care just what all other haters gotta say. I know everything I do is gonna make them fade away.
And when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something. Yeah, well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something. Yeah, then all you really need is hope.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's what you need when you're down, need when you're out. It's what you need when you're sad and when you feel left out. You feel an energy drought and then creeps out, but with a little bit of hope you can figure it out. Keep your head high even when you're down inside. Through the pain you fight and through the painful nights you keep striving, keep trying, keep driving, rising, keep thriving, surviving. Nothing's in your way but yourself. Don't need nobody's help. You can make it through this hell. Take it one step at a time, one step as you climb. If you fail you'll be fine. Get back up to the grind and never lose sight of your mission. Be driven. This life is a prison if you don't have vision. You're in it to win it, so get it, don't miss it. Your chances now, so be something somehow. Don't let yourself down. That's right. Sometimes all we really need is hope.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. This could be our last Gannon stream, you guys, unless something else happens, hopefully not. I hope this can be it, closing a chapter here. And unless we get to update someday about the foundation and amazing things that they do in his name and in his honor, which I would absolutely love that someday. But this is it. This is kind of our trial wrap-up stream. I'm going to open up panel for anyone who wants to come up and just talk about everything that's gone on over the past 6 weeks. And, just be with our family one last time for this case anyways. I hope to see you guys for future cases. I know there's a couple of really big lives going on right now about the Oklahoma 7. I was just on Allegedly with Brittany J's panel about that. If you guys are interested in checking out that video, I don't know if I myself am going to cover it. I had told her that I was working on an upload, but the more I think about it, Brittany has sent everyone to this channel for Gannon for the last 6 weeks, and I would like to do the same for her and send all of you guys over to watch Brittany, I think, for the Oklahoma 7, rather than me try to compete with her or whatever. Let's just send you guys that direction for Oklahoma coverage, and I'm going to be over there hopping on her panel and blowing up chat that way. But I think that that's the right thing to do. I mean, she has sent me so many of you lovely people, and I so appreciate her for that. Eric J, thank you so much for the 99-cent super sticker. And Sasha, welcome to our family. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you. I know that'll give me a chance too, because I know she often opens up her panel and will let me on to say my piece if I need to. And yes, Ramblin' Rome, I don't know how I could cover it effectively and not use many of the words that I would need to use to talk about what's going on in that case. It's one thing there's certain things that I know that I can say and they don't know what I'm talking about and things like that, but there's certain words that I would never want to use and have them going, yeah, I'm punishing you. That's what it is. It's not it at all. I don't know how I could do it. Okay, so I had said earlier that I would pull up Gannon's first YouTube video, and this is it, you guys. Let's watch this first. This is part of the video. They played part of this for the judge, and yeah, so they played part of this for the judge, and this was his YouTube video that him and his friend made, and this was going to be the start of his YouTube gaming career.
Hey guys, and today I'm about to play some Sonic Mania. Alright, let's zoom in. And yes, cameraman is right here. Purple Star White Gaming. And yes, shout out for our channels. We're going to be doing a lot of these together. Give a shout out to him, his channel, Freedom. Alright. It is. You choosing Tails? Yes, I love Tails. He's my boy! Show it. What is him? Oh, I got Nickels. And Debo. There's Nickels, sorry Nickels. Whee! I believe I can fly. I believe. Nope. You can fall and crack your face open. Ding. He's way better at this game than I am, guys. True that. Owie. Why are you bullying me? What if I get 1 subscriber right off the bat? Probably be me. Yeah. You can like your own videos. Owie! Gannon, you can like your own videos. Yeah, I know. Let's get some views of him. Wee! Boy, you just passed by that checkpoint. Okay. Owie! Why is this guy bullying me? Dr. Eggman with a big fat egg on your butt. I have to go in debug mode. Why is this taking me forever to do? So far, we've been rolling for 2 minutes. Well, that was easy. Easy! Oh, wow. It took you 1 minute just to finish that. Oh, wow. I forgot there was a rock. A rook. What? What? Knuckles, what happened? I don't know. I don't really care too. Wow, you're mean. I'm leaving you. Bye. Oh, he's floating. Fine. Where? No, he's right there. He's right there. Ow! I hate that. Zoom in on this part. Wait, how'd you get that? Bonus stage. And I died. I don't really care. What? 4 minutes. Oh. Should I take the water shield? I don't care. Good choice. Whee! Ah, dang. Oh. It's Eggman. This boss is really easy. It's not like the Sonic 2 boss. The legs have no hitbox. But dang, I defeated him. In your face, Eggman. Ooh, the rings. The rings! Ooh, oh. What happened? Oh. What? How's your boss at this? Hey guys.
So there's the link to this YouTube video and to his channel. He has 1.93 thousand subscribers and 27,000 views on his video. So yeah, this is it. This is him. That was his channel. And then the other video that they played for the judge was the kids singing in the car with Landon. And so I have that one pulled up and ready for you guys as well. So let me get that.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, yo, make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger. Pushing each other to the limits, we were learning quicker.
So that was just a quick one. I know. I know, guys. I'm sorry. You was subbed, but you hit that like. I don't know how I wasn't subbed. I must have been subbed under my other channel that I used before I used this one. But yeah, so that's the stuff that they put on there for the judge to see. Here's the link if anybody wants to come up and join me and just talk about, like I said, the last couple weeks to talk about the trial, talk about Gannon, talk about whatever you want to talk about. I do have Landon's interview I can pull up for you guys that she did last night. There was also, oh my gosh, rambling. Funny. Ramblin just sent me this. This is Leticia's altar showing up. I'm not going to play the music because I know it'll strike me. It's about how I picture her trying to act crazy. Too funny. Hi, Jessica. Pin. Do you know which pic they showed for about a full minute? I don't know which one. I wish. Oh, my link. I could probably pin the link. Yes, that I could do. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. There we go. So that's pinned if anybody ends up wanting to join. If not, that's fine. I have, like I said, the Landon press conference, or sorry, not press conference, her interview after the press conference. One second. I totally lost it. I gotta find it again. Totally lost it. Too many things. Oh, this is beautiful. Check us out. There was a okay, so I think most of you guys have heard about the oh, Jessica, you can shut off your camera, hun. Sorry about that. I wasn't even on the right screen. How are you, dear?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. The picture of the rainbow yesterday. They got a picture with it. That's so cool. Shortly after the guilty verdict.
That's awesome. She looks like a weight has been lifted.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ernesta, can you pop your camera on for 1 second just so I can see, and then you can shut it back off. Okay, go ahead. How are you, Ernest?
How are you?
Doing good. Welcome.
Good to be here, Sleuth Mom. And believe it or not, I plan on covering the same thing tomorrow, reliving all those moments from the moment the verdict was handed down, the moment both all the impact statements and the sentencing. This is something to this was a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And the family, they were just so relieved. You could just see it in their face. Yes,
Oh,
the interview from last night.
absolutely,
I
absolutely. And
think, do you have
when I
water
first
running
heard the
behind you?
verdict, that's my wife doing her live. She's making frappe for her coffee business, trying to get people to join in as well.
Okay.
Anyway, I was saying that when I first heard the verdict, there were a lot of people celebrating on that, and the first three words that came out of my mouth were, "Now that's justice."
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, BC, I think it is Ernest has a frappe maker going in the background is what it was. So, sorry about that. Um,
Sorry about that.
it's okay.
The one thing that I was going to jump on here and talk about was Al's impact statement. The part that broke me was when he said he just wanted to be a mama's boy. Why
I
couldn't you
know.
just let him be a mama's boy? And I have my baby son. Well, he's 6, but he's the youngest. And he's the only boy I have, and he is a total mama's boy. And my husband, everyone is totally fine with it. Um, he wants me for everything. He wants me to be there for everything. And so that just made me feel so much emotion for Gannon and just for Landon, for Al. There's nothing wrong with a little boy wanting to have a great relationship and with his mom. So that's what broke me yesterday. Because there is just such a connection between a son and a mother.
And it's almost like that's exactly why he hated him so bad, right? Because of his love for his mom.
Yeah. And I'm also a step parent. I've been married to my husband for 13 years, and he had a previous marriage with 2 children. And at the time that I came into the picture, they were 7 and 10. My husband had full custody of them. They're grown now. They're going to be 23, and my daughter just turned 20 yesterday. So to see this supposed stepmom and what she did, it's just absolutely disgusting. I view my stepchildren, I don't even call them stepchildren. They're my kids just as the ones that I gave birth to.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just a really hard case to wrap your head around the evil.
No, I agree,
So
because it just, none of it has ever made sense. None of it.
no, I can't think of, there's no good reason. I mean, there's no good reason to murder anyways, but a child, kids can get a little irritating sometimes, but just go take a moment.
Well, and all the praise and all the pats on the back she gave herself through it all, I loved that Albert was able to put that jab in there to her, that, you know what, guess what? You still weren't the glue that held it together, because I still have my daughter. Like,
Yes.
it had nothing to do with you, you evil wench. You should have just left. Like, I still have custody of mine,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And
I enjoyed every last bit of Al's impact statement. I mean, even that little jab of as far as how she looked, calling her nappy headed and all. I almost lost it then. But also, Jessica, I gotta agree with you with what you were saying about a son's relationship with his mother. That's the first woman he's ever gonna love, and that's the woman that's gonna teach that young man how to love a woman.
exactly. I 100% agree with that. My husband had a wonderful relationship with his mother. And in turn, that's what makes him an amazing husband, because he has a healthy view and respect for women in general.
Amen.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with a boy wanting to be a mama's boy.
Me personally, I never saw anything wrong with that because I'm missing my mom. It'll be what 23 years come the 16th, and I still consider myself a mama's boy because I miss my mom every day.
Yeah, my husband's the same way. He lost his mom 12 years ago, and I mean, he loves her and talks about her all the time. And yeah,
It's just
mothers
so sad to
are
think
so
about
important.
that was likely his biggest downfall in T's eyes. Something that we're all talking about, how that's natural and, it's a good thing and stuff like that. That was probably T's biggest problem with him, outside of his bowel issues, which were made worse by her not giving him his medicine.
Yeah.
Anybody seeing that as a weakness, and Tisha, I'm talking to you. You see that as a weakness, you're a monster, and your actions proved it.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Absolutely. I have Landon's interview here, so let me play this real quick, you guys. It's about 2.5 minutes, so.
Peace. Because all I found was peace. For more than 3 years, I've struggled. You try to put puzzle pieces together of what makes sense, and no matter how hard you try to make sense of it, it never made sense to me. But to hear that the verdict today, guilty, made more sense to me.
You've had to hear a lot. 5 weeks of the worst possible things being talked about with your son, with this person that is now convicted of murdering him. Was there a harder part than others?
Yeah, there's two in particular that I can't get rid of. One of which is the video where he says, "Pinky promise." That's all I hear is "pinky promise." And then the other is when she imitates his last breath. That really got to me. I think that was a huge jab And it just shows you how evil a person could be.
Being in the room with her for 5 weeks after 3 years of waiting, that must have been tough.
Yeah, it was real tough. You have to look at that person. And she's made eye contact with me a few times, and then it's just like it burns my soul. Like it just like, how can you even look at me? How can you even look at anybody in the family? Knowing what you did and you still can't admit it is just, she is the definition of coward and evil in my eyes. And the sad thing, 18 stab wounds, 4 blunt force to the head, a gunshot, all of that. Gannon still loved her, I believe, in his last breath, because that's who he is. And I don't want to try to be a biased mom, but my son was different, very different, and she took advantage of it. And she was blessed to even have him in her life.
Now, that's just 2 minutes of over 30 we just spent with her. We're going to have more for you at 10 o'clock, a lot more tomorrow, too. We are told we could sit down with the DA and Al as well tomorrow. We'll bring you the very latest.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
Yeah, Landon has always been able to say so much in such little time periods. 2.5 minutes is all it took, and she gets her point across every single time.
Yeah, she's
I'm
very
hoping
well spoken.
the full 30 minutes. I'm interested in that. I haven't seen yet from Albert and the DA, but I do have from Tellini after court yesterday.
There's a lot of challenges in this case. This case is pretty hard and grueling on everybody involved. But in the end, I feel proud to have stood up there and tried my best to defend it.
Judge, can I ask you about the decision to go after this as a DID case versus what you emphasize more in your closing argument about this being a psychotic break? Do you think that was confusing for the jury? And would it have been possible to just limit it to the psychotic break that I know you talked a lot about?
I that's a good question. In the end, it was hard for me to know exactly what it was. But always with this case, nothing made sense to me other than some type of psychotic break. And DID and the psychotic break weren't mutually. They were kind of the same thing. It was a psychotic break, and then the DID was explaining her actions afterwards. And you do suffer psychotic breaks if you have dissociative identity disorder. So it wasn't that I was discounting that. It was trying to open it up more. So whether it was a severe borderline personality disorder or whether it was DID, the emphasis was, to me, it seemed the only explanation that I could conceive of that made sense to me was some type of psychotic break. And again, I think the jury thought a lot about that, gave it some consideration. I understand, their decision, and I can respect their decision.
Basically, we threw darts at the wall, and we were hoping something would stick, and it didn't. But
yeah. That was a weird interview angle, too.
Yeah, so the full one is from Court TV, but Court TV only posted like 20 seconds of it. So whoever recorded it on the side posted more of it.
Honestly, if you watch the trial, that defense attorney was pretty much squirming, trying to figure out how in the world am I going to defend this.
Mm-hmm. I really honestly think that was T's defense. I think that that's what she wanted to do. And they had no choice but to go with it, because whenever the other attorneys didn't go with it, she just got rid of them. Mm-hmm. Find some way to make this my defense, because this is what I want to do.
And in a lot of ways,
Then on top of, I was going to say, she had enough nerve to ask, once she was convicted, she had enough nerve to ask if she can go to a certain prison. Like she had a choice in the matter.
Right.
Yeah, come on. I mean, her attorneys kind of just sat there a lot of the time. I don't think that they wanted to be involved in this case, but they were assigned. So
they had to do what they had to do.
Yeah, they have to do their job. But I do have to say, I can't remember, is it Mr. Wood that was sitting next to T most of the time? And then we were
Wilcook.
laughing. Oh, Woodcock?
Wilcook.
Wilcook, sorry, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They were just laughing and stuff, and I just thought that that was really bizarre behavior on both parts. Like,
No, I agree. I don't know if it was just that he was trying to humanize her or make her look like more, I don't know, like not a monster. But how do you unmonster a monster? You can't.
I kind of had the thought that maybe
Next to impossible.
maybe he was joking around with her and stuff to keep her from, with the appeals part, saying that she had ineffective counsel or something.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think they're gonna go. I don't know what type of appeals they could possibly do, and I've been thinking about that all night. You know, what will be the first thing that she tries to file? And I don't know that her lawyers are gonna help her too much with that. Like they seem like they're
Right.
ready to be done, hands washed of it.
Well, the prosecution in the press conference yesterday, they were saying, appeals will inevitably come,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll be prepared for that.
I was just gonna say that they're probably gonna wait. They're just wasting time.
Yeah. Do they have to represent her through the appeals because they were her attorneys?
I'm not
Sad to
sure.
say. I would assume yes, sadly.
Sucks.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't think
Googling
they've
it right
seen the
now.
last
I'm
of
like,
her.
That's like re-representing Jodi Arias after all appeals processes have been exhausted, and she still wants to retain you
mm-hmm.
to try to find another way to get out of the predicament she's already in.
Right. Yeah, see, I wish I was more familiar with like how that process works. I'm trying to Google right now for Colorado to see because it looks like it's different in different states. Okay, so yeah, it looks like they would basically stick with her through the appeals process.
Wow.
That stinks. Like once you're assigned somebody, you're basically stuck with them. And then they would have to prove some type of conflict of interest or whatever if they didn't want to represent her through it. But it looks like they're stuck with her. I would hate that. Because it's not their choice. It's not like they went out there and advertised and like, we're like, "Oh, hey, come here, you dirty woman, you, and we'll represent you and try to get you off." I was going to say something, but then yeah. We won't. My daughter walked past me right as I was getting ready to swear. Oh, okay. So it's just like one of those things where, it's just no.
I wonder if Dr. Lewis will stay in contact with her. Dr. Lewis just seems like such a gullible person in general, that she just believes everybody that says that they have DID or, some other kind of disorder. So I wonder if she will. I know that she was paid to come and, do all of the things that she did. But out of her own curiosity, I wonder if she will continue to stay in contact.
Well, my opinion is that if she does there isn't enough zero for me. If I was in her shoes, there wouldn't be enough zeros on the check to me to remain in contact with Leticia, whatever her last name should be now, because from what I remember in the impact statement, Al wants Leticia to let go of that last name.
I thought he was indicating that he was going to change his last name.
No, he asked for the judge to take her last name off of her. He was tired of watching her be referred to as Stauch and watching his name get like basically slandered. Yep.
Dragged.
Okay, so I misinterpreted that, but
yeah. But
I agree. I wouldn't want her I wouldn't want her to have my last name still.
As far as the Dr. Lewis goes, you would think if she does do the appeal process that she is gonna want those exams and stuff done finally. And then I guess we will know for sure, did she have anything that would have showed on an MRI or whatever. But I picture her like retiring and not wanting anything to do with this because they basically embarrassed her, in my opinion, with this entire case, like Dr. Lewis.
I believe so too, but I feel like she's also been embarrassed on, I looked up some videos and stuff of her and looked her up. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely not the first time that she's been
No, that's
taken down
true.
a peg in court. Like,
And she just keeps on coming back.
yeah, she just doesn't
I
care.
mean, I
Like,
guess for $300 an hour though, and there's a 3 or 350 or 375. I don't know what that number actually is going to end up being, but there's a lot of things. I mean, she charged out at least 14 hours for the video, plus whatever calls she made, the travel time, the time on the stand.
Hmm.
I
yeah,
guess depending on how much you want money, it doesn't really matter what she's doing to your good name.
Well, just goes to show you that scripture is right, that the love of money is the root of all evil.
true.
Meaning anybody will do just about anything to make a buck. And I can't wait. I can't wait to do this one live tomorrow. The verdict, the impact statements, and the final sentencing.
I so want one of the jurors to come forward and tell us the whole process of their deliberations.
You'd love to hear that. You would love to hear that. Preferably, I would love to hear from a four-person myself.
I think we will too. I don't think it's going to take long at all before somebody comes forward.
I was looking it up this morning if they had gotten an interview with a juror yet, but no such luck.
Mm,
Because it seemed like with the Murdoch case, there was that juror was like ready to talk right away.
yeah, I would love to see one, which juror is gonna be the first one to talk about this case. Two, we still got more trials coming up too, including we're on the cusp of getting a verdict with Lori Vallow, I believe.
Yeah, I've been keeping up on that case as well, but I mean, it's still in the hands of the prosecution, so there hasn't been any of the defense witnesses and all of that stuff. But I think I read an article, and I'm not sure if it's true. So, but I believe after this is all said and done, too, that she is going to have another trial for basically soliciting, for the death of Charles Vallow.
Right.
Good. Good, good, good.
So that will be interesting as well. And then I guess they're talking about Chad Daybell going on for his trial in June of 2024.
Okay. June
That's gonna
2024.
be.
Is that what you said?
Yeah,
24. Oh my gosh.
I know,
Well, and then
another
the other
year.
thing is the prosecution has rested now in the West Boys case. So we're getting very close to a verdict on that as well. Hi, Mama Kay.
Yeah,
You can shut your camera off.
I believe we gotta. I believe we're gonna have ourselves a summer of justice. Justice being served, and we're already getting the first taste now. Summer of justice.
Yes.
justice being served.
Oh, Mama K, make sure you shut off your YouTube video in the background, hon. Just mute her for a second till she gets that fixed. No, I agree. I think that it's just there's so many cases, there's so much going on, and it's a lot. It's a lot. They did announce that the verdict in the Valid trial will be broadcasted. Not sure if it will be live or not. Thank you so much, Ava.
Oh boy, I can't wait! I can't wait! I can't wait! Wait, another monster to fall.
I'm also interested in the pre-trial hearing for Koberger.
Oh, definitely. That's gonna be interesting as well.
Heck yeah. I can't wait for that. And I'm really wondering how much of everything is going to stick with him. I know there's been a lot of back and forth about the evidence and different things, but the new body camera footage, that was very, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Plus, we also have there's a little controversy saying that the prosecution isn't is withholding evidence. That's not a good thing.
Well, I wonder how much of it goes back to that whole fruit of the poisonous tree thing with the I can't even remember what it was called that they had come out. I gotta go back and look. I gotta look because that word's gonna bother me now.
That is a good piece of terminology you brought up. The fruit of the poisonous tree. I mean, I've watched a few Law and Order episodes, and I've heard that phrase pop up a few times. That if you got there's evidence either not being presented or there's evidence presented in bad faith, then like more likely than not that evidence won't be admitted.
I just feel like there's so much that we still don't know about that case because of the gag order.
I agree. And what we do know, it's all coming from the family and people that are close to the case. And I love that they are keeping us informed. But at the same time, I just want to shake them sometimes and be like, please don't tell us anything else. Like, you're going to ruin it all. Like, don't.
Well,
like, you know,
like
sometimes not knowing is
Ashley
better.
Banfield is like constantly coming out with these so-called exclusives, and and I wish honestly that she would just stop.
Right. No, I agree.
She
I
drives me
have like a
crazy.
love-hate relationship with her because some cases she is phenomenal.
You and me both.
And then other cases,
it's like...
I'm like, no, like you're worse than some of the worst YouTubers. You know what I mean? With making stuff up or being like my source. Like, where is your source? Stop it.
Well, and then she has a burner phone, like that she's tried to communicate with Brian Koberger, and I'm just like, this is really, really bizarre. But
right.
Yeah, she drives me crazy most of the time. And like you were saying, Sleuth Mom, that there are some cases that she covers that is just really good. But I think that with the gag order, I mean, she's just trying to push it every single day.
Right.
Trying to leak stuff out.
And on top of it, it's like she reminds me a lot of WWE manager Paul Heyman. That's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. That's what it seems like to me. She's dropping spoilers with all these exclusives.
Can I have
Mama K, how are you?
Can you guys tell me what that case is about? I don't know. I'm lost.
Brian Koberger?
Yeah.
The Idaho 4.
So the Idaho 4 case is 4 college students were murdered inside of their house in the middle of the night. And Brian Koberger is the man who is alleged to have done this. He was from Pennsylvania, but was staying in Washington and going to school in Washington, right next to where the Idaho 4 murders took place.
Okay. Gannon has
I've
taken all
covered
my
it.
energy.
No, yeah, I totally get it. Idaho 4 is one that I actually covered pretty extensively whenever it very first happened. But as it like got completely swarmed, like I have a really bad habit of whenever cases start to get too big, I back way off because I would rather not be like in the crowd, if that makes sense. And that sounds horrible, but there's
No, it
just
doesn't.
once so many channels start covering stuff, I usually move on to the next case because there's just so many, so many. And so that was another one of those cases where we talked about Idaho pretty in depth for probably the first 2-3 weeks, and then just kind of let it go for a little while. But we will be back for court. I'll definitely follow it through that. What you get to a point where there's no new information, and then you get to the point where what new information does come out isn't necessarily verifiable. And so how do you know who's telling the truth or not? And that's where my problem with Banfield is, because there was so much information that she has put out that may or may not be true. We have no idea. And so how do you report on that? How do you run with that information? You just can't. Not if you're trying to operate on facts.
And see, I have not followed anybody except for you, and I didn't get you until the trial. So
I've been paying attention to the Idaho case, the Brian Koberger case, just because I live like 140 miles away from Moscow. So it's kind of like in our little neck of the woods. I don't live in Idaho, but I live in Montana.
Okay.
So we're neighbors. So it's something that I've been
Close
following.
enough to be concerned about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Just, the path that he traveled to when he was driving with his dad back to Pennsylvania. I was curious. Oh, did he come through Montana? And I don't think that I don't know if he did.
Honestly, I don't know the path that they took back. I really don't. Feedback, peer back phone call. Yeah, Idaho 4 was all over mainstream media too. And Emily, that's exactly right. Once they did the gag order, you quit watching because YouTube channels that covered it because it was just conspiracy theories. And that's exactly right. Once it gets to that point on a case, I just kind of wash my hands from it and walk away, and we'll revisit it later once there's more facts and more information. Kylie Rodney was the same thing. I was one of the very first channels that covered her whenever she was just missing and stuff. Literally, it was like me and one other channel who ever even mentioned her name or Jalissa, and bam, it blew up. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, we're not going to ride this wave. Like, let's just move on to the next one. And that's how I've always been. That's why I grow slow too, though, because I do move on and I don't just stay on, whatever the hot case is.
Right, but that's what's so enjoyable about your channel is it's fact driven. You don't put out information that can't be verified. So that's what I appreciate too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I try not to. Every now and then you'll hear me, like, that's why we got our little speculation cat emoji, because every now and then I'll put out some crazy tinfoil hat theories. Not very often, but I always try to make it pretty clear whenever it's speculation and whenever I can't prove it. So, but I don't know. I just, with this whole stuff, like if we get back to Gannon a little bit, with the whole trial and stuff like that, I'm so relieved that it's over, but I really still like, and I feel kind of selfish for this, but I really still I wish that we were able to have a clearer copy of the Maria videos.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like I need to get like, I don't know if they're going to release that with the discovery in this case or what's going to end up happening. But like that audio and video quality was so bad whenever they were showing her being Maria.
I would totally, if it comes out, I will totally sit there and watch all 14 hours.
Me too. And I'm still a little bit shocked that the jury didn't, if that makes sense, because I was sitting there thinking if I was on the jury, I would totally probably have to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do get a hold of that, you're going to have to let us know and let us watch it with you.
Oh,
I would
absolutely.
probably,
Okay.
knowing me, I'll probably need several bags of popcorn to get through it.
Yeah. I don't know what this family has gone through and all the things. I know that T doesn't want people looking at her. She doesn't want to be in the
Oh,
spotlight right now. She wants to hide
oh
behind it
no.
and hide behind her hair and pretend that she's not there for it all. I think all of her embarrassing stuff should be out there on full screen. Like just put it out there. All of her lies and her
Put her
stupidness.
totally on blast. You're right. Put her
My
I think
totally on
husband has said
blast.
this, before, in living here in Colorado and knowing the prisons around here, they are going to have to put her in isolation for a while. Because if she goes out in general population, there's going to be a woman that's going to turn around and be in there for life and not care and going to kill her.
yeah.
You watch.
I worry
You
about that,
know,
but I don't at the same time. Like she deserves it. She deserves everything that she has coming to her.
sleuth mom, you might as well just go. You might as well go and say my famous line. I have no sympathy for her. You might as well just go on and say that because everything Mama K just mentioned could very well happen if she goes to General Pop.
Well, yeah, because there are mothers that are currently in prison that are missing their kids, missing their family, and to know that she just so heartlessly took a child's life, there's going to be
Right.
women in there that are completely pissed off.
You know, the other side of this
Absolutely.
though is unfortunately is common as child murder is anymore. There's gonna also be parents in there who have done the same thing. And that's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah,
It's
there
not
will
like it
be,
used to be
yes.
where they would go and they would find these people who hurt kids and they would, treat them how they treated the kids. It's not like that anymore because there's more and more often, pedos and child murderers in these prisons, and it's sad to say. Our society is just going
Hmm.
to crap.
It really is.
And that, like I've said before, the ones that really need to be hung by their toenails in a lot of cases, and I'm not talking about murder cases, I'm just talking about child abuse cases, are the ones that get away and they get a slap on the hand by the court. And that's the reason why I had to leave the law field. I just couldn't handle it anymore.
Hmm. The very first case I got into when I first started doing true crime stories and Mama K, I see where you're going with this one. The first case I started on was a couple that adopted this boy, but kept him locked in an 8x8 prison. That's exactly what I'm calling it. An 8x8 prison in their garage, having nothing more than a Home Depot bucket for his toiletries. They keep him in there about 16 hours a day, if that, and they're getting ready to go to trial now. And these two monsters. Every time I think about that case, it just tears me up in two, and I want to see them
You say that was in
get the book
Florida,
handed to
right?
them.
You talking about the one in
Yes,
Florida? I
yes.
know who you're talking about. We covered that too.
Tim,
Sick.
Tim, and damn
Yep. And they
I
looked like
hope
your everyday. Here they are. Here,
the
I'll pull them up.
the
They look
the
like your
Farida
everyday family, and just
yeah.
Yes, them.
kept their adopted kid locked in a garage for 5 freaking years. 5 years.
Ugh.
Yeah, I've been following that one too since
It
it
just
first
makes
happened.
me
My
sick.
thing, I'm always like
That was
super,
my
super.
that was like I said, that's the very first case I started covering. It
Mhm.
pisses me off then, it pisses me off
I
now.
give you guys credit that can
Mama K, you faded off. I think we might have lost her. She like just kind of.
She started saying she gives us credit, but then it just went out.
Yeah. No, he's alive. The child's alive, thank God.
Thank
He
God.
was being abused, but for 5 years they kept him locked in there, and he was only allowed out basically to go to school.
I'm
So
sorry, but I subscribe to Michael Jackson's philosophy about taking care of kids. He said it clearly. If you can't feed the baby, then don't have a baby, and don't think maybe if you can't feed the baby.
right. I I've
If
always
anybody
been
ever
like
heard that,
really passionate about foster care cases and like these ones who have gone through child services and stuff like that, because I started out with like Ariel Sellers and Angel Overstreet and in cases like that, and so that one caught my eye right away whenever I seen it. Right away.
Sleuth Mom. When that, like I said, that was my first case, and it caught my eye, and hit me right in the heart because I was once a foster child. I'm an adopted child. I was blessed to have adopted parents that took me and loved me from the time they took me in all the way to their passing. So a case like that, yeah, that's gonna that's really gonna put a dagger in the heart and tear my guts in two.
I just posted your channel for them so that they could go check you out. And that's his link there, you guys, if you're wanting to check him out.
I was going to ask you, Sleuth, and people in the chat yesterday, also during the victim impact statements, when Al made a reference to his new wife and how they actually met like through shared grief. Yeah. Does anybody know what happened to the son that she lost?
Oh, I've heard it different ways. So I've heard that it could have been a self-harm situation, or also I heard medical, but it could have been a bit of both. Did they have a medical issue that led to self-harm? I'm not sure.
Okay.
And so I think whenever the family puts it out and talks about it, they say it like as if it's a medical type of situation. But somebody pointed out that she has the semicolon tattoo.
Oh, okay.
And that oftentimes is about self-harm.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So
okay,
Well,
I'm gonna be
well,
stupid. Like I said, I'm a newbie. What does that mean?
So she had a child who lost his life at age 13. And so she was in grief counseling at the same church that Albert was then in grief counseling for Gannon's loss. And so that's how they met. They met through grief counseling.
I knew that, but
the semicolon, semicolon tattoo, it just represents
taking a pause, basically, before you do anything.
Right, taking a pause before unaliving, like thinking about it. People that suffer with mental health and depression and that kind of stuff, they'll often get a semicolon tattoo or whatever just to represent that.
Now, what
it's supposed to show that you have overcome a hardship in your life, basically.
Okay. What was the term that you used other than medical for his death?
Self-harm.
Now,
I can't say the word because YouTube will flag it. That's one of the new terms of service words. For you can't say the S word.
Okay, I'm lost.
Can you say the? I don't even want to say it. The other way that people kind of talk about it on YouTube, like
they unalived them. He unalived himself.
Yeah, unalive
That's the
yourself.
word they use, unalived.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
at
you can't
some
say the
point,
S word, no, though. I know that much. I watched
right.
somebody stream who they normally curse like sailors, and their stream got flagged because somebody had said the S word. I was like, wow,
Mhm.
like amazing. But
I mean, I'm blunt. I'm blunt to a point, but I mean, even I'll say other phrases meaning the same thing, but the one word I will not use is unalive.
you
I'll
know,
say
I
that I'll
typically
s-
am
I,
not. I'm not real big on curving my speech as well, because I do think that words have power. I think that if somebody
agreed.
was raped, you can say that they were raped. You know what I mean?
Thank
And
you.
things like that. And I don't tend to be. And I know that some people have sensitivities to stuff like that, but I've
Hmm.
never been one to curve it. I've never been. But I do know that the S word is getting flagged like crazy under the new TOS. And
That's the
so
reason why.
that's why I'm like, even
That's the
I'm like,
reason.
not gonna say it.
That's the reason. The phrase I'll always use is that the person took their own life,
Yeah, that's smart. Yep.
took his or her life. But other than that, I'm blunt.
Hmm.
How long
Blunt.
ago was this? Do we know?
She lost her child. I want to say it was either the same year or the year before Gannon was lost. And so literally it just so happened that they met through this grief counseling.
And I didn't realize Al was still living here in Colorado Springs.
Yes. Hmm.
I really hope that everything works out well with them. I mean, Al deserves it. They all deserve to find some happiness and peace.
Same year as Gannon. Thank you, Uncorked with Brandy. No, I agree completely. I hope that they're able to get all of the. It seems like things were starting to heal yesterday. Any
Oh
type
yeah.
of tension, any type of anything. Albert and Landon hugged. They stood next to each other in a press conference. They did just fine. You know, like there's closure there. And I really hope that this whole trial, even for Harley, with the judge, thank God for that judge speaking up for her the way he did
Oh wow.
and just
Yes.
putting it out there. Like, just keep shouting it louder for the people in the back who still want to sit there and accuse this child. Like, I hope that she is able to get her life back together. And even if Albert and her don't become best of friends, I hope that some type of communication, like, is opened back up. He has this whole new life, this whole new family. And I'm devastated to like listen to him talk about how he's had to shut off Gannon. He's had to turn off that part so that he can be happy and move on and live normal and stuff, so that he doesn't live in anger and hatred and stuff towards T. And I get it, having to do what he can to get through the grieving process and get through this trial. But I really hope that things start to heal to where he can enjoy every memory of his son and not have to feel that hatred.
Amen.
And I
Oh,
think this trial is going to put a closure on that for him.
Me too.
Well, and
oh,
and I think it was
ladies,
what
I was
they.
gonna say. Go ahead, Jessica. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say when Al did take that jab at T yesterday, he beforehand said, and he looked back at Landon and said, "This is not a jab at you, but I
Right.
still
Right.
I still have my daughter." That was a jab for T, not Landon, and Landon seemed to be completely fine with it.
It was a
Absolutely.
well-deserved jab too.
Yeah.
A well-deserved jab. I was gonna say, ladies, can we go ahead and give props to the judge in this case? That man on the bench was just straight up awesome.
He was.
I thought it was amazing that he's like, listen, I understand the gravity of this case and I don't want to cause, hesitation in this process, but I'm going to go and take a 10-minute recess and gather my thoughts because I'm sure, I mean, obviously he had a lot to say.
And he
about
was
this
finally
case.
able to say it.
Emily, yes, yes,
Right. And he
yes.
was finally able to do it and be like, you're a trash person. Like, basically.
And you could
And
see it in his
Emily is hitting it.
face through the trial that he was hurt having to deal with this case and be polite to her and everything else. You could just see it was eating him.
Hmm.
And so when he came
Yeah,
back and he was able to let go, he did.
Yeah. And I think
from what I
it says a
understood,
lot. Sorry. It says a lot
from
that, he pointed out he has done, he has sentenced people to life before. Not, not necessarily for the same crimes, but, for murderers but out of hundreds and hundreds of cases that he has presided over, that this was the most horrendous that
And
he has
the
ever
thing
seen.
that tears my heart apart is every time I think of that, is that baby was sitting there looking up at her, knowing that hate she was putting on him and doing to him. What
Mm-hmm.
he had to be thinking in those last moments just tears my heart out.
And that's what the judge had pointed out too. He said he shudders at the thought
Mm-hmm.
when she slipped her cuffs being extradited back to Colorado
And saw
and
that look. Yeah.
and saw that look. He can only imagine that that's what Gannon saw.
and also from what I heard, he shedded tears during Al's impact statement as well. And
Yes.
now normally a judge is supposed to be unbiased, but when someone is making an impact statement and it moves you to tears, that says a lot.
I'm sure he probably wanted to cry when they were showing photographs and just going through this whole case. But since the jury had already found him or her guilty,
Hmm.
he was finally able to show some kind of emotion up there, even through the
Hmm.
impact statements, because she was already found guilty.
Right.
Exactly. And some people just don't understand that just because they're a judge doesn't mean that they don't have feelings too.
Oh,
You know,
definitely, definitely, definitely. But this is the one judge that actually was able to put it on display long after the guilt phase was already wrapped up, and we go right into the punishment phase. We get to when they got to hear the impact statements from family, friends, community.
And he pointed out that she has shown absolutely zero remorse. And you think back to
It's
everything.
because she had none.
She absolutely
She
has
had
not
none.
had any remorse. You would think, and I think that this was what he was trying to convey. He's seen cases where there's somebody who has a severe, mental disease or defect, like with schizophrenia and stuff, or with DID. And once they realize what they have done, they're horrified. She has never, that I've seen, shed one tear. So you would think that if she
Even if
truly,
she would have, it wouldn't have been for Gannon. It wouldn't have been for
no,
his family. It would have been for
No,
herself and what she lost.
absolutely. There you go. There you go. I was gonna say the exact same thing. And then on top of it, look at the way she was acting throughout the trial. I mean, I've seen all this time, I've seen more birds flying from her than I've seen in the sky.
something that clicked and that I never got to bring up. Um, it's the day she came in with her hair. Sleuth just loved that hairstyle. But did you guys realize in the video with Dr. Lewis, the one day that she was talking to her and that Maria was supposed to be coming out. She had her hair up like that. So I think that hairstyle was her way of trying to be more Maria. Or give the
I've always
impression to everybody this is not Trish evilness here. This is Maria here.
Right.
I've said throughout the whole entire case, not just the trial, but the entire case, I kept saying, Leticia's crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy. Yes, she's crazy, but she knew exactly what she was doing. Therefore, the phrase "she's crazy like a fox."
Well, you know, and I've always said that anybody that takes another life, whether it's a child, especially if it's a child, or in, you know, period, something's wrong with them because normal people don't go out and take lives. So, I mean, that's a given that there's something mentally wrong with them. But the question is, did they know right from wrong? And the way she covered it up, you know, she knew wrong. She knows she did that.
Yeah, she, like the judge said, the only honest statement that she made was whenever she told the detective that yes, she didn't, or he didn't go to a friend's house or whatever, but she had to figure out some type of way to cover it up. You know, what I can't even remember the exact words, but that was the only time she was honest. Whenever she said that, you know, she had to figure something else out, and that's what it came down to. She sat there and just kept lying and lying and lying as if it was going to get better somehow by telling more lies, as if somehow it was going to undo what she did by constantly lying, which makes no sense. But this is Harley posted this on her Instagram, and it's a picture of Harley whenever she's younger, and Gannon. It says, "I love you, my angel." She posted that yesterday.
That you talk about after looking at that picture, that's a little kid. That's a kid that should be alive today.
I'm sorry, she posted that today, not yesterday. Sorry.
I started following Harley just so I can kind of keep up on her.
I looked, and I'm not sure if there's too many. I mean, her thing under her name.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of naive when it comes to those things. I don't use Instagram, and you know, I mean, I'll tell you honestly, I'm a 61-year-old woman that still loves Donny Osmond. Okay.
No hate. No hate.
And that's the only reason why I have an Instagram account is because of him.
Yeah, back to what you said earlier, Sleuth Mom. I hope that Al and Harley can somehow reconnect on some level. And, you know, she's still pretty young and she's got a lot of figuring out of life to do.
Yes.
But I do hope that someday,
even if it's just so that she could still talk to Lena. I mean, she was with Lena since she was 2 years old.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Hi, Candace. How are you, dear?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Doing good. What do you think about all this verdict and everything, Candace?
Oh my gosh. Dr. Lewis, I mean, I can't even. I would have been embarrassed to even get on the stand. Like, she's done for. I don't know why she doesn't just retire. But thankfully, I mean, I think it caused the correct verdict.
Yeah. Do you, so you didn't think that was like the best expert testimony ever? I'm sorry. That isn't how you would have done it?
Not even close. You know, it's one of those things where you see someone like that in the same profession and you're like, wow, they went to Harvard and Yale medicine. And then you listen to them and you're like, huh, glad I didn't pay for that Ivy League education because it doesn't seem like it did too much.
Well, you guys, I don't know if you know that Sleuth and I had discussed it at one point. She has Parkinson's.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
And I knew that before it ever even really came out or Sleuth said, you're right. I was looking at her because I have it. And so, and I know the days that I have a hard time talking or whatever, that's what I sound like. And I'm in the early stages.
I think the Parkinson's itself, though, it wasn't so much her speech pattern, it was the things that she was saying. Like, the things that she was saying just did not make sense. I mean, they asked her, "Why is it that Maria will come out for you but won't come out for anyone else?" And she says, "It's magic." Like,
Yeah.
what? You really just said it was magic? Okay,
Yeah.
expert
Wait,
doctor.
what the what?
Yeah, that's what she said whenever they asked her, why only she was able to get Maria to come out to testify, and she said
And
it's
that's
magic.
exactly what I was thinking when she said it. Wait, what the what?
Yep.
Well, and part of our ethical obligation is knowing what we can and cannot do, what we're capable of. We don't practice outside the scope of what we have
Exactly.
the ability to do. So if she felt like her health condition would interfere with that, then she should not have gotten on the stand.
Exactly.
And, I, I think maybe she did do this case to try to put her name out there because she's starting to die down, because of her age. And so it was trying to, the one last Yahoo, because I think she knows that she's not going to be used anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and this was her reach for the last glory before she finished.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
That's just like I think the attorneys took uh did evilsness case was because they were kind of hoping that it would get their name out there a lot more, and but I don't think they realize in what way it's going to get it out there, and not the good stuff
Nah,
that they were hoping for.
not even close.
You
What do you
know,
think about the fact that they, even the defense attorney, abandoned DID during his closing statements? He didn't even bring it up at all. He tried to stick with psychotic break.
oh, yeah. I mean, he knew. He was like, well, that didn't work out. So what else we got? I mean, I think he was just grasping at
Plan B.
straws. Yeah. I mean,
Go to Plan B. Go to
well,
Plan C.
what else do you say?
Let's throw something on the wall and let's make sure let's see if it'll stick. Failed.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. I think
Yeah, and
in
as
our profession, like when you start out, a lot of people are trying to look for that niche, like where they want to practice and specialize. And I think that, and this is just my personal opinion, I'm not talking from any kind of therapeutic standpoint, just my personal opinion. I feel like that she ran across this, came into this, started working on it, and because no one else knew that much about DID, she became the expert. And I think she has just ridden that through her entire career. And as I said before, I think, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So to her, everyone has DID.
And I don't think she gave us enough information that she sounded like an expert of DID.
yep.
No, no, no. Yeah,
I
definitely not.
I walked away from her explanation more confused than I was before.
She did
Right.
a
And
lot
then
of
she
political
lost all of
talking.
her paperwork, apparently, like where she had T write out the different signatures. And, you know, that would have been something to present in court. But I mean, not that I believed T or any of that, but I don't know. The whole thing was very
She
bizarre.
lost the signatures. She lost the only written confession that they had. She lost, I don't know, her mind whenever she let her son sit in the room with them during the evaluation. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, she just lost all kinds of stuff doing this case.
I was floored by that. I mean, I've done evaluations
Yeah,
for
me too.
different departments, and for like child cases and stuff. And I cannot fathom the idea of taking a child with me, even if that child were grown. Like, you just don't take personal family members with you to do a professional diagnosis. That it makes no sense to me.
Then on top of that, she had somebody actually filming her in the courtroom while she was testifying. Who
Wait,
does
what?
that?
She had somebody in there filming her? I didn't know that.
Yeah, for I guess for another documentary.
Nah. There's no way. So that's why the judge had to keep telling him about his phone. Was he the one pulling the phone out then? Like her son trying to record them? That's unbelievable.
Yep.
I hadn't heard that before. That's crazy.
I gotta agree with that. In my opinion, that should have been an automatic DQ as a witness.
Yeah.
She should have been disqualified as a witness because of that.
Heck yeah, she should have been. Wow, that's nuts. I hadn't heard that at all. Not at
She did
all.
so much political talking, like you ask a politician a question and they go all the way around the world, and then you realize, I don't even think they answered the question I originally asked.
Oh, that sound like something my dad would say. They went all the way around their elbow just to get back to their thumb.
I like that one. I like that. I'm going to use that sometime.
He did, but at the same time, like, I don't even know what I was getting ready to say. Oh, the other stuff was, as far as like her old school look at things, like, oh, well, T was married twice. I would hardly call that successful. Like, you just offended anybody on your jury pool that potentially was divorced and remarried there, ma'am.
Yes.
Male and female.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then her outlook at, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think every single one of us have questioned T's doctorate after seeing how she speaks, how she writes, and things like that. We've all been like, how in the world is this woman a teacher? How in the world does she have a doctorate? And I don't quite fault the doctor for calling that one out, but
let me give you the one word for that doctorate that T had. Honorary. It's not legit.
I mean, it's legit enough that the judge is recognizing it in court and stuff, Yeah, but my thing is, like, she totally took all online schooling and was like, well, it's an online degree, so I was like, oh my. We don't like remarried people or anyone who went to online school from this doctor.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, because this isn't the electronic age, I don't know. I need to figure out how to get an honorary degree just so I can make my husband call me doctor. I mean, like, I really want to know how she went down this road and played this out. Like, I'm curious.
I can actually see me not I'm thinking about it, I can actually see me going in getting an online degree in divinity, so they can call me Dr. Ernest Bethea.
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy.
What was her doctorate supposed to be in?
I think like physical education or something. Like, it wasn't. It was something to do with or no, not physical education. It was for. Oh goodness. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I gotta look it up. It was some type of education. Yeah, Emily Flotilla said education. I don't know which type of education though. I'm gonna have to go look now. She would be probably a better gym teacher though than what she was. That's probably what I was thinking. Like, maybe she was a gym teacher, because she definitely was not not learning anybody how to spell anything anytime soon.
Definitely not.
Well, and if anything, that's even more terrifying that she was around other people's children if she's so easily, irritated by kids. You definitely shouldn't be teaching children.
And I gotta say, the school that she was supposed to start in and District 20 for special ed was supposed to be for my granddaughter.
Oh,
Ugh.
wow.
And I was like, my daughter turned around and says, Mom, I just got the strangest letter from the school. And I says, what? And she was trying to read it to me. My daughter has a little bit of a learning disability and stuff. And I says, bring that to me now. I want to hear. I want to see. And school was telling them that they were so very sorry that the teacher that had picked out for my granddaughter, Gracie, they found out was not what they needed. And that, yes, we were going to be seeing her name on the TV a lot. And, and I was like, oh my God, I am so glad, because I would have been the one that would have been on trial next. Have her touch my grandchild. Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh.
I'm so glad she ended up. I mean, sorry, they're so noisy. I keep trying to mute because they're like playing tag in the hallway next to me. Like, stop it. But no, so I'm glad that she didn't end up working with your granddaughter.
Oh,
I am
so
still like floored that the school hired her. I mean, they
I am
flat out hired
too.
her, even though she faked her references, even though she faked her schooling and all that stuff, like they still hired her. And they knew she faked it. That blew me away.
And
Blew
I
me
think the
away.
problem is out here, teachers are paid so poorly. I mean, so poorly that there's not there's not the choice of them. And so they got to kind of take what they can get almost anymore. And it's sad.
Right.
Do we
Right.
know if she was ever, like improper with any other children in her work, or was it just Gannon?
No, just Gannon. There was actually parents that came out whenever he was first missing that were in the Facebook group saying that there was no possible way that she was behind this, because she was their students or their kids, blah blah blah. And that she was always so kind to their kids, and that she was their favorite teacher, and different stuff like that. And so it kind of I don't know, it shocked a lot of parents, I think, from the school in North Carolina, at least. Not so much Colorado, because she didn't get to engage with kids as much there, but
I think
like
that's very
the school
telling,
she had
though,
worked,
because
right?
it shows
How
that she doesn't have a problem with children. She had a problem with him.
with Gannon, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
And that's why she didn't hurt Lena too. It was Gannon, because she hated Gannon.
And that was because he was the apple of his daddy's eye, and she was jealous.
Yep.
That's it. That was the point I was gonna make. This was Al's miracle child, and couldn't get over that. So how do you eliminate daddy's world? You take away the centerpiece of his world.
Yep. And that's how you put the knife in his back and not get in trouble. That's what she was thinking.
No. That wasn't in the back. That was in the heart. That wasn't a stab in the back. That was a stab in the heart, and that's where Leticia aimed for and got.
And
That's so sad.
the one question I do have is, how did she be with those kids, 5 or 6 years, and it never being known that she had that hatred for Gannon? It just all of a sudden popped out.
Hi in the bushes.
Hi, guys.
How you
I
doing?
think
Hi.
I think that there was probably, I mean, like Albert said, if he would have seen any signs, if he would have known that Gannon would have been in any danger, he would have
Yeah.
never left. He would have never left. And
No,
so as much as we want to say like there had to have been signs, there had to have been something, I'm sure it was like jealousy type things. You know, like I said, she had quote unquote stomach issues because Gannon had
Hmm.
stomach issues. She did stuff for attention to get attention over him. But I don't think that Albert ever thought that, or nor Landon. You know, Landon trusted her just as much.
yeah. Oh
Hmm.
no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like she was an awful damn good actress.
Yeah, somebody get her an Emmy, an Oscar, a Tony.
The world's best manipulator.
You
Well,
got it.
Well,
probably.
she wasn't able to manipulate Judge Warner.
Hmm. Nor those 12, nor the 12 in the jury box.
Yep.
Oh man, I can't wait for tomorrow to relive that moment all over again.
Hmm. We just we were playing that earlier. I separated it out so that it could be watched by people who didn't watch it yet. I took it out of the big live because of course, you know, we were still live 7 hours yesterday waiting for the verdict to come
Oh
out.
yeah,
Right.
Following.
I caught that. As I was going through YouTube yesterday, I noticed you went 7 hours.
Yeah.
You're awesome. I mean, the longest I've ever gone was two, and I don't even know if I can pull seven.
We've done it every day through trial. We've got stream court every day. So
Every day
Mm,
for 5 weeks.
And we appreciate you
mm,
for it, Sleuth.
Yes, you. Oh,
absolutely.
well, thank you guys
I
all
won't
for
need
being
court
here.
TV. I won't need court TV now. I got Sleuth Mom.
right.
There was a trial that started today and I almost started streaming it, but then I was like, my husband might kill me if I don't take a couple days off
Your
and
mods might kill
not
you if
to.
you don't take a couple
Yeah,
days off.
that too.
Hey,
That too. Plus there's so many case updates that I need to go through, like in so many different cases.
oh
It's
yeah,
just
oh yeah,
there's a lot going on.
yeah. There's one case right now that I just recently did the report on, and you talk about disturbing woman again. This sounds like a lot like about like Leticia's case. This woman kills her child. No, no, no. I take it back. It wasn't her child. Woman kills her boyfriend's child, stuffs the remains
The
in a
bucket.
tent.
Hmm.
Yes.
We talked about that the other day and during lunch break.
Oh.
BC gave me the eyeball. She's like, "You better not start another trial." And there's updates though on like Athena Brownfield. There's updates on Gretchen Fleming.
Oh
There's
my
updates
God.
on. I can't even scroll up high enough. That's how long it's been since I actually did any of the updates for her.
Mm.
Um, let's see. Oakley Snow, they're pushing for murder charges against her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Athena Brownfield, her mom is now facing two things of child neglect because she had left the baby with the dad
Oh my
or the
God.
boyfriend who killed him or killed her, and so she's now facing two counts of child neglect. So you do an update about this because this is another one of those, you know, another one of these cases that we followed. And I always try to at least update and go through and keep them up to date. You know what I mean? I get behind sometimes though, so
Yeah. Yeah.
follow them from the beginning though, and then follow it all the way through to trial. That's the plan. So then we have Harmony Montgomery coming up. We will be in court for her soon enough. The West Boys, of course, I'm going to try to get caught up on that and see what the defense does. I'm really worried about that case, to be completely honest. I just don't feel like the prosecution presented enough evidence that they actually murdered these children, disposed of their bodies, had bodies in their presence, things like that. possibly, but I don't think they have enough to say that they
Beyond a
actually
reasonable
killed these
doubt.
boys. Yeah, not beyond a reasonable doubt. No. I mean,
Right.
for all we know, they could have ate drugs or something and died, and they got rid of them. But they haven't yet. Yeah, Cairo Jordan, his mom's still not been found. Sorry. Yeah, so there's a lot. There's just been a lot. Yeah, it's been a whole year for Cairo now.
Yeah. Well, it's what like somebody says, when it comes to true crime, it does not stop. Doesn't take a break.
Never. Never ever. So, but I think I'm going to take a break for the night. I appreciate all you guys jumping up here with me and just talking about Gannon, going through this
Yeah.
one last time, finally, like finalizing everything in our brain, detail wise about what happened. Crime on the Record, Candace, I would love to talk to you more in depth at some point about just everything, all the things. We can get a one-on-one at some point. I would appreciate that. If you guys haven't subscribed to Crime on the Record, please go and do so. They are doing a phenomenal job trying to cover what they can. Candace is also a psychologist, right?
A therapist. Yeah.
Therapist. And she brings that to the channel as well, from that aspect of things. And so they're just doing what they can to cover. I don't know. You guys cover everything. I swear you guys are always live, it feels like.
I talked Jason into doing one trial because I'm in sessions all day. Like, I never know when my sessions will be. So he has to cover the trials. And I got him to do Murdoch. And because so many people were covering it, we had so few that I don't know that I'll ever convince him to do another trial. Like, I keep telling him, we need to do this and this. And he's like, really? For like 15 people? Are you sure? I don't have that kind of time. So we'll see if I get him on another one.
We'll make it 16. I just subscribed.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
After I get off of here, I'll be the next one to subscribe.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You think it's her husband that's always on? I think that's what she just said. Yeah. That's funny. I appreciate. Hold on. I gotta go see what's going on. There.
Is this a live stream?
Yes, it is a live stream. I am live. Yeah, you want to come say hi?
Live stream for me.
Yes, I started it up just for you, just so you can talk to them.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Me and my sister are fighting on something.
I know you guys aren't supposed to be fighting, though. Why are you fighting?
Because my sister won't let me have that rag thing.
Oh, well, that's not very nice. So tell them I'll have a good day.
I'll have a good day.
Have a good day, right?
You too.
We have to go get ready for tumbling.
We have to go get ready for tumbling. So see you later, guys. I'm gonna press.
No, you're not gonna hit the end button. Thank you guys all for jumping up again. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me on.
Bye.
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 Bye.